Finn the shark lived in the big blue ocean. He was not a scary shark. Oh no. Finn was a very friendly shark indeed. He had a big toothy smile that he shared with everyone, but it was always a happy, welcoming smile, not a frightening one. He loved to swim through the clear water, watching the sunlight dance. He saw so many colorful fish and swishy seaweed. He liked to say hello to all the creatures he met. Finn was known in his part of the ocean as a gentle giant. He dreamed of seeing new places. Finn often looked up towards the surface of the water. He saw the bright sun sparkling above him. It made beautiful patterns on the ocean ceiling. He wondered so much about the world above the waves. What could it possibly be like up there? Were there other friendly faces to meet? He sometimes saw birds with wide wings fly across the blue sky. They looked so free and happy, soaring through the air. Finn wished he could get a closer look. He was a very, very curious shark, always eager to explore beyond his familiar blue home and discover new wonders. Not far from the ocean, in a cozy house with a green garden, lived a cat. Her name was Ginger. Ginger was a fluffy cat, the color of marmalade. She had lovely bright green eyes that sparkled with curiosity. She absolutely loved to explore her surroundings every single day. She would climb the tallest trees in her garden, pretending she was a jungle explorer. She chased fluttery butterflies in the sunny meadow nearby. Ginger was a very brave and remarkably curious cat. She was never afraid of discovering new things or places. She always looked for fun and exciting games to play. Ginger had a special fondness for the nearby beach. She often went there and sat on the warm, soft sand. She would watch the big blue waves roll towards the shore, and then she would watch them roll back out again with a gentle whoosh. The ocean was so enormous, it seemed so full of mystery and secrets. What amazing things did it hide beneath its surface? She sometimes found pretty shells washed up on the shore. She also saw little crabs scuttling sideways very fast. Ginger often wondered about all the creatures living under the waves. She truly wished she could meet one of them someday. One bright and sunny morning, Ginger felt particularly brave. She decided to explore closer to the water than ever before. She tiptoed very carefully towards the ocean's edge. The golden sand felt cool and delightfully damp under her little paws. A tiny wave, full of playful bubbles, rushed up and tickled her whiskers. She jumped back in surprise. Then she let out a little cat giggle, a quiet mew-hee-hee. She crept closer to the water once more, her big green eyes wide with anticipation. The ocean air smelled salty and wonderfully exciting. She peered into the clear, shallow water, hoping to see something new. Finn, the friendly shark, was swimming quite close to the shore that very same morning. He was happily looking for interesting, shiny shells on the seabed. Suddenly, his keen eyes spotted something bright orange and very fluffy. It was right there, by the very edge of the water. What could that strange thing be? It had two pointy ears that twitched, and it had a long, swishy tail that moved from side to side. Finn had never ever seen anything quite like it in his whole life. He decided to swim a little bit closer, moving very slowly and gently. He did not want to scare the fluffy creature away. Ginger lifted her head from watching a tiny fish. She saw a big, dark fin cutting through the water. Oh, then she saw a very big grey shape moving beneath the surface, and then she saw a very big smile filled with many, many shiny teeth. "Meow!" she cried out, feeling a little bit scared. Her orange fur stood up on end, making her look twice her size. She took a quick step back, but the big grey shape in the water stayed quite still. It simply looked at her with what seemed like kind and curious eyes. Finn tried his most friendly smile for the fluffy creature. He really hoped it would not run far away. "Hello there," said Finn, his voice a surprisingly gentle rumble like distant thunder. "My name is Finn. Please don't be scared of me." Ginger blinked her wide green eyes in astonishment. A talking shark! This was truly amazing and unbelievable. "Meow, I am Ginger," she replied, her voice just a small, soft sound. "You are very big," she added, still a bit nervous. Finn chuckled, a bubbly sound that rose to the surface. "And you are very fluffy," he said with a grin. Ginger felt a little bit braver now. This big shark seemed quite nice and not scary at all. A few days later, Finn and Ginger met again by the shore. They were quickly becoming good friends. Ginger told Finn about chasing mice, and Finn told Ginger about chasing particularly fast tuna, just for fun. Suddenly, they both heard a tiny, sad cry. "Help! Oh, please help me!" It was a very small voice, full of distress. They looked all around, trying to find where it was coming from. Near a cluster of sharp, dark rocks, they saw him. A baby sea turtle was stuck. Its little flipper was firmly caught between two heavy stones. The tide was slowly coming in, and the water was rising. The baby turtle looked very, very frightened. Oh dear, this was a problem. Ginger, being quick and agile, immediately tried to reach the trapped baby turtle. She carefully stretched out her paw towards him. But the rocks were far too slippery for her claws to get a good grip, and the water around the rocks was getting deeper with every passing moment. "Oh, I can't get him!" she cried out, feeling worried. Finn swam as close as he possibly could. He was big and very strong, of course, but his large body could not fit between the narrow, jagged rocks. He was afraid he might knock them over and accidentally hurt the poor baby turtle even more. "I can't reach him from here either," Finn said sadly, his big smile fading a little. Ginger looked at Finn with concern. Finn looked back at Ginger, his brow furrowed. They absolutely had to do something to help. "Wait a moment," Ginger meowed, her whiskers twitching as an idea sparked in her clever mind. "I have a plan." She knew she was small and nimble, which could be useful, and Finn was very strong and could push things carefully. "Finn," she said, her voice full of hope, "can you try to gently nudge that smaller rock, the one pressing on his flipper? Just a tiny little bit, very carefully." Finn nodded his big head. "And then I will try to guide the turtle out when there is a tiny bit more space," Ginger finished. This seemed like a very good plan indeed. Finn positioned himself carefully. He took a deep breath. Then, very, very gently, he pushed the smaller rock with his strong snout. Just a tiny, tiny nudge, as Ginger had asked. It moved just enough. Ginger quickly reached her paw out again towards the baby turtle. "Come on, little one," she cooed softly and encouragingly. "You can do it. You're almost free." The baby turtle wiggled its trapped flipper. With that little bit of extra space Finn had made, its flipper suddenly came free. Hooray! The baby turtle quickly and gratefully swam over to its mother, who was anxiously waiting nearby. Finn and Ginger had done it. They were a fantastic team. Finn and Ginger cheered loudly. "We did it, Ginger!" shouted Finn, his voice full of happiness and relief, making happy splashes with his tail. "We really, really did it," purred Ginger, rubbing her fluffy side contentedly against a smooth, sun-warmed rock on the shore. They looked at each other, feeling a wonderful warmth spread between them. Finn's big, toothy smile was wider and brighter than ever before. Ginger's brilliant green eyes sparkled with pure joy and pride. Helping the little baby turtle had felt so incredibly good. They had worked together as a team. They had used their very different skills to achieve something wonderful. This was definitely the start of a very special and unbreakable friendship. From that exciting day onwards, Finn the shark and Ginger the cat met as often as they could. Ginger would make her way to their special spot by the water's edge. Finn would swim close to the shore, his fin cutting a cheerful path through the waves. He told her amazing stories of the deep, mysterious ocean. He described the vibrant, colourful coral reefs he had seen. He told her all about the funny pufferfish that could blow themselves up like balloons and the giant, gentle whales that sang beautiful songs. In return, Ginger told Finn all about the wonders of the land. She described the tall, rustling trees and the brightly coloured birds that sang in their branches. She even told him about her favourite pastime, taking long, cosy naps in warm sunbeams. Some of the other sea creatures and even a few land animals were quite surprised by this unusual pair. A shark and a cat? Best friends? It was certainly very, very unusual. Most cats did not like water, and most sharks were not known for chatting with fluffy land dwellers. But Finn and Ginger did not care one bit what anyone else thought. Finn was always gentle and careful with his small friend. Ginger was brave and trusted Finn completely. Ginger even learned to like the water a little bit more. Sometimes she would dip her paws in to cool off, with Finn watching close by to make sure she was always safe. Their friendship was truly special. It was built on trust, kindness, and lots of shared fun. "What amazing things shall we do next, Finn?" Ginger asked one sunny afternoon, her fluffy tail swishing back and forth with eager excitement. Finn's big dark eyes twinkled with mischief and adventure. "Well, Ginger," he rumbled thoughtfully, "perhaps we could explore the legendary Whispering Caves that are just around the point. I hear they echo with funny sounds." He paused, then added with a grin, Or maybe we could try to find the long-lost sunken treasure of Captain Bluepaw, the pirate otter. Ginger giggled, a happy purring sound. Oh, Finn, that sounds like a perfectly wonderful adventure, she said. And so the unlikely pals, the shark and the cat, began to plan many more exciting adventures together, side by side, one exploring by sea and one by land, forever the best of friends.